Hey there, good morning. Happy March. We are in the month of Tara in the Mount Shasta Goddess Temple starting today. And the month of Tara is actually the month of the 21 Taras because she's not just one, she's 21, but she's also one. So it's the month of Arya Tara. And we work with Tara in the temple as she who saves, she who leaps into action, she who heals, she who bestows peace. She's the bringer of help in our time of need. She's the comforter in our time of sorrow. She's the sister archetype. When you think about what it would be like to have a sister who just rushes to your side and helps you out when you're going through something difficult, or who hypes you up when you're happy, or who is really on your team no matter what. That is the sister archetype, and that is Arya Tara for us in the Mount Shasta Goddess Temple. This month we are going to be using the Buddha Wisdom Shakti Power Oracle for our divinations. This is by Laura Shanti. It's a beautiful deck where she has basically done traditional Tanka like images of the various different Buddhas, but she imbues them with a kind of a modern sensibility and her own unique style. Love Laura Shanti's work and am excited to be using her deck this month. We also are going to be opening this month with a praise for Tara. So let me grab that so that we can do this one. And I've posted this one in the Goddess Mandala section of the Goddess Temple app if you'd like to follow along. It's in the Arya Tara section under the classes. So let's have it here. Om. I prostrate to the ennobling, impeccable lady, highly realized Arya Tara. Homage, O Tara, swift Ture, heroic goddess, whose gaze, like lightning, flashes in an instant. Lady who was born from the opened up anthers of the triple world guardian's lotus face. Homage, goddess whose face is like hundreds of stacked up full autumn moons. Lady, radiant with light, spread out over clusters of thousands of stars. Homage, bluish gold goddess with lotus like hand, adorned with a water-born lotus. Lady with essence of giving, perseverance, quieting through ascetic discipline, patience, stability, and discrimination about objects of mind. Homage, crown protrusion of the thusly gone ones, goddess with unlimited actions, victorious, having attained the far reaching paramita mind, barring none, lady on whom the triumphant one's offspring rely. Homage, goddess who from syllables tutare and whom fills up the realms of desire, direction, and space. Lady with feet pressing down on the seven worlds of existence, able to hook in all beings without exception. Homage, goddess who's honored by Indra, Agni, and Brahma, Vayu, Vishva, and Ishvara. Lady held on high by hosts of victim ghosts, zombies, celestial musicians, and yaksha guardians of wealth. This is a pretty exciting prayer, isn't it? Homage, goddess who, with shouts of tret and pet, tramples opponents' black magic devices. Lady stomping with right leg bent and left outstretched, furiously blazing with flames of fire. Homage, goddess who, with a totally terrifying ture, destroys completely the demon's heroes. Lady, scrunching her lotus face to have wrinkles of wrath, exterminating all enemies, none left behind. Homage, goddess adorned with fingers at her heart in the gesture that symbolizes the triple gem. Lady whose palms are embellished with wheels, with floods of their light, unsettling wrongdoers throughout all directions, leaving out none. Homage, goddess whose resplendent crown ornament spreads a garland of light bringing joy. Lady who, with the laughter and mirth of Tutare, brings under control Mara demons and the world. Homage, goddess able to allure the entire assembly of protectors of the earth. Lady who, with animated brow and light from the syllable whom at her heart, unfetters those who have fallen to misfortune. Homage, goddess radiating light from the crescent moon tiara, adornment at the crest of her locks, lady with brilliance from Amidewa, born on her piled up hair, a perpetual source of beams of light. Homage, goddess standing inside a ring of the fire at the end of an aeon. Lady with right leg outstretched and left leg bent, filled with joy, destroying the circle of foes. Homage, goddess with palms pounding and feet stamping on the surface of the earth. Lady who, wrinkling her brow in wrath, rips asunder the Lord of Death 7 levels beneath the ground with lightning streaming from her syllable, whom. Homage, goddess of the felicitous, lustrous, and pacified pathways of mind, goddess experienced as peaceful nirvana, lady endowed with the mantra ending in Soha and starting with Om, she who eliminates great negative force. Homage, goddess who rips the bodies apart of nemesis to our being bound with joy. Lady with heart imprinted with the 10-syllable line and blazing from a pure awareness syllable, whom. Homage, Ture, goddess pounding with her feet and marked with the seed syllable whom at her heart, lady causing Mount Meru, Mandara, and Kailash and the 3 worlds to quiver. Homage, goddess holding in her hand a deer marked moon with the healing features of the Ganga celestial river. Lady, eliminating poisons without any remainder and with the syllable pit uttered with 2 taras. Homage, goddess to whom the ruler of the masses of gods, as well as the gods and half-human kinnaras, show honor. Lady, dispelling disputes and bad dreams through the expansion of joy from her entwining mantras. Homage, goddess with full moon and sun eyes shining with light. Lady who dispels raging fevers with her forceful mantra, uttered with 2 hares and her peaceful one with Tutare. Homage, goddess endowed with the pacifying power of the syllables, marking her 3 aspects of being. Lady, exterminating hordes of evil spirits, causing seizures, zombies, and man-eating demons. O most excellent Ture. This is the prayer of the 21 praises of Tara, a traditional praise to Tara. And each of those sentences that started with homage is a description of one of the 21 forms of Tara. So now, as we go through this month, now that I've read the whole prayer once, and at the end of the month, we'll read the whole prayer again. But now what we'll do is that every day, starting tomorrow, we'll examine one of these taras in our preliminary to our practice. So pretty exciting, interesting prayer, full of lots of energy and life force, where Guanyin pacifies and has that peaceful quality. Tara is, in many cases, an activation. All of the Buddhas have the powers of dispelling or destroying, pacifying, magnetizing, and creating or manifesting. And so you can sort of see how they will manifest through the lines in this prayer, the different powers of Tara. Some of her forms are peaceful, some of her forms are wrathful, many of her forms are activating, and some of her forms are specifically about health, about wealth. So we have a lot of space to examine the 21 Taras this month. And the card that I pulled for today is Yeshit Sogyal. Yeshit Sogyal, as you might remember, is one of the temple's ancestresses for the month of January. But here we are with her. She's welcoming us to this month today. And we're going to learn a little bit more about her here. Yeshit Sogyal was the most important historical female figure in the tradition of the Tibetan Buddhist Nyingma school. Her clan name was the Lady Karchen, and she was born in Tibet in 757 CE. It was said that at the time of her birth, a nearby lake doubled in size, so she received the name Wisdom Lake Queen. That's Yeshe Sogyal. Her story and the energy around her. So I'll just tell that a minute. Yeshe is that word for wisdom, and many of us in the lineage that I belong to have Yeshe as part of our name because of Yeshe Tsogyal. And then the name So Gyal, So is lake, and Gyal is wisdom or Rigpa. And so when it's sort of hard to explain because this is a syllables, but Ye She is basically birthless and deathless wisdom. So Gyal is lake of conquering lake or triumphant lake or victorious lake. So she is the lake of victorious wisdom is one way we could look at her name. So her story and the energy around her is somewhat similar to the Arthurian legend of the Lady in the Lake, Lady of the Lake. Both are magical women who created miracles, entranced men, and inspired legends. She married King Trison Detsen in an arranged marriage at the age of 16, but soon she became the intimate companion of Padmasambhava, the Mahasiddha responsible for bringing Buddhism to Tibet. She's often depicted in his tankas, kneeling at his left side, along with Mandarava, his other consort from India, on the right side. Padmasambhava said to Yeshit Sogyal, "The basis for realizing enlightenment is a human body. Male or female, there is no great difference, but if she develops the mind bent on enlightenment, the woman's body is better." Yeshit Sogyal received full initiation from Padmasambhava into the Tantric mysteries, and she became a female adept of the highest order. She could remember his lectures and writings word for word, and she wrote down everything that he taught. So she's been considered the word or the speech emanation of the Buddha. She is the Buddha's speech in the world. She continued to work for the people of Tibet after Padmasambhava attained enlightenment. She died at the age of 99, leaving many disciples and influencing many spiritual lineages that remain even today. She is now venerated as Tibet's top female tantric master. One of her spiritual practices, called the Queen of Great Bliss, celebrates the creative energy of the female and the vitality of life and creation. Oh, it's so good to see you, Gary. Welcome back. Nice to see you, Paris and Cynthia. Good to see you. And so here we go. So figuring out like how we can wrap our minds around this essence of Yeshit Sogyal. Yeshit Sogyal was an emanation of Tara. She was an emanation of the Great Mother. She came to the planet with already a spiritual inclination in her heart, When she was born, she wanted to work for the benefit of all beings. She asked to be exempt from her arranged marriage so that she could work for the benefit of all beings. Due to cultural mores of patriarchy at the time, she was not allowed to avoid her arranged marriage. And so she ended up having a very difficult circumstance in which, when she refused to marry the man that her father had arranged for her, he cast her out and called upon all the men who had been interested in her because she was very beautiful and very smart and, politically an advantageous queen. So he called upon all the men and said, "I've thrown my daughter out of our family compound. Go get her if you want her." And she was kidnapped. She was captured. She was beset by bandits. She was passed around. And eventually, the king heard about all this commotion and he brought her into his court where she was one of his concubines. She didn't want to be there. And when Padmasambhava came along and he performed miracles for King Trisonditsan, the king said, "What would you like in exchange for these miracles?" And Padmasambhava knew that Yeshitsogil, because he was psychic, he knew that Yeshitsogil was imprisoned. And he said, "I will have her." And upon having her come into his life, he immediately had a major transformation. His work elevated, her work elevated. They traveled all over India, Tibet, Nepal, Bhutan, and taught. And she had photographic memory and audio memory. She could hear something and remember it. She could see something and remember it. So she's a very important figure in our lineage. She is the memory of all that's come before. As a historian, she's very important to me because I like to read about all the things that have been written down. Hi, Lupa. Nice to see you here. Hi, Albert. I love you. It's good to see you. Hi, Wolf. Good to see you here. So we can call upon Yeshitsogil when, especially, we've forgotten who we are and we need to remember. Every single one of us has those times when we forget because maybe something difficult has happened, or we've gone through some hardship, or maybe we're tired, we're a little dragged down, maybe we feel a little bit out of sorts. And we all have those times where we forget who we are. We forget that we are a divine being having a human experience. And we get so identified with the human experience that it's easy to forget that there's this whole other layer that's always active, always happening, regardless of our circumstances, even when we're not feeling so great. So, whatever it is that you've been feeling today, remember who you truly are. You are an emanation of the divine in human form, having a human experience. You are made of the oneness light that underpins all existence. You have it within you to exert magic in this world, just like Yeshitsogil did. And you have it within you to transcend limiting circumstances that would keep you from being in your truth and in your joy. That's our short bit for today, if that's what you're here for. Hi, Karen. Hi, Joanne. Good to be with you today. Now let's dive into our practice with 3 prostrations before the shrine. We're going to do Guanyin practice. Today, we are especially dedicating our practice to Lisette and to Tash. And let's take refuge. Namo Gurube. I take refuge in the inner teacher. Namo Buddhaye. I take refuge in the great mother of compassion. Namo Dharmaye. I take refuge in the wisdom of the ages. Namo Sanghaye. I take refuge in the community of practitioners. And let's set our intention today for Lisette and for Tosh, for safe medical treatment, healing, well-being, and we're also holding Claire today. And let's recite the four immeasurables. May I be a source of loving kindness in this world and all worlds, bringing a generous heart to all my thoughts and doings. May I be a vehicle of compassion in this world and all worlds, ever mindful and aware of the tremendous suffering of others. May I be a brimming vessel of joy in this world and all worlds, delighting in the happiness of others as their suffering is alleviated. May I be a balance point of equanimity in this world and all worlds, seeing all as equals and all as deserving of goodness. I light this candle as a symbol of the enlightening Dharma way. May it shine brightly for the benefit of all beings. I light this incense as an offering to Guan Yin, she who hears the cries of the world, mother of all. Om Ahum. 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 Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind and present clouds of every type of offering, actual and virtual. I confess all my destructive actions accumulated since beginningless time and rejoice in the meditation of all holy and ordinary beings. Please, Guan Yin, remain until the end of samsaric existence and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of others to the great enlightenment. 108 recitations of Namo Guanxi Pusa, calling out to Guan Yin and inviting her to awaken in our heart that wisdom to remember who we truly are. Namo Guanxi Pusa, Namo Guanxi Pusa, Namo Guanxi Pusa, Namo Guanxi Pusa. Namo Guanxi Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. 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 And our brief practice for the Mani reciter of Kam. In response to a request from a Kampa Mani reciter, the Dharma professing monk Tokme wrote this in the Dharma fortress of Ngulchu. Lama Dunkun Shiksum Lakchatsa Lo Dakni Changchub Ningpor Chike Bar Gangdang Gangdu Kepa Dedang Der Tadu Tuje Champo Jetsin Shing Gusum Gewe Chula Chiparsho Jamdang Ninje Champo Kunlang Ne Tuje Champo Dujargir Panam Lame Chanchu Chola Kobe Chir Tuje Champo Trinle Jiparsho. Homage to the Guru and Three Jewels. From now until I reach the essence of awakening, no matter where I may be reborn. In those places, may I always follow the great compassionate one and dedicate my body, speech, and mind to virtue. Inspired by loving kindness and great compassion, in order to lead all Mahakarunika's followers to supreme and unsurpassable awakening, may I carry out the great compassionate one's activity. Lama Dankun Shiksum Nakchatsalo Dakni Chanchu Ningpur Chike Bar Gangang Gangdu Kepa Dedang Der Tadu Tuje Champo Chetsin Shing Gusim Gewe Chila Chaparsho Jamdang Ninje Champo Kunlang Ne Tuje Champo Drujar Girpa Nam Lame Chanchu Chala Gope Chir Tuje Champo Trinle Chaparsho. And now 108 recitations of Om Mani Padme Hum for Tosh, for Claire, and for Lisette. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 And let's give thanks for our teachers. May all of my blessed teachers enjoy long, happy, healthy, productive lives and great support for their good works. May all beings benefit from their wisdom. May they enjoy a swift and happy rebirth. And long life prayer for Lama Dechen Yeshe Wangmo. Om Susti. Through the powerful blessings of the immortal Pema Jungye and his consort, May the three secret qualities of the Dakini of supreme bliss, Yeshu Wangmo, be utterly stable, and may the light of her activities shine on the lotus groves of the teachings and of beings so that they blossom in radiant splendor. And let's dedicate the merit. May the merit of this practice and all of my activities be of endless benefit to all beings in all realms, beginningless and continuous. May all obstacles be overcome and suffering cease at the sound of liberation. May all beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all beings have happiness and its causes. May we carry the essence of Guanyin in our hearts. Namo Guanxi Pusa. And we close with a bow to Guanyin, bow to one another, and a bow to the inner teacher. And welcome to the month of Tara. I can feel the activation energy of Tara already this morning. Already, I've got like all these plans of things that I need to get done this month. I hope that everybody will take a little time today to tap in to your inner Yeshit Sogil, your inner enlightened nature. Remember who you are. Remember that you can accomplish magic on earth. And in fact, that's why you're here. Be back tomorrow. Bye now.